Hello everyone and welcome back to the Future Talks by Prayaana Labs. My name is Chelsea Sunil and I'll be your host for the day. Now I'm going to begin with an introduction to Prayaana for all those who do not know about us already. So Prayaana Labs is a unique employability, entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem for women. Prayaana Labs give wholesome career support services right from career counseling, training, mentoring and recruitment services all coming under one umbrella. This is Prayaana Collective. It's a venture by Prayaana. It is unique in the attribute that it's India's first e-commerce platform that is dedicated to women empowerment. The platform is uniquely designed with an attractive affiliate marketing model where all the customers are given an opportunity for lifetime savings and earnings. So in case you're looking for attractive, handmade, authentic products, we have a lot of those and they're made by extremely talented women. So please make sure to check us out at www.praco.com. So in case during the session you guys have queries, please feel free to leave it in the live chat box below and we'll get to you at the end of the session. So without further ado, we're going to go into today's session. The session is about what it takes to build a successful business and thrive. The session is going to be taken by Payal Nanjiani, and she's the founder of Success is Within Leadership. Now, she is someone who has authored a book. The name of the book is Success is Within, the 21 Ways of Achieving Results, Prosperity, and Fulfillment by Changing Your Leadership Mindset. She's a globally acclaimed motivational leadership speaker, an expert leadership and success coach, and is one of the world's leading Indian American motivational leadership success mastery speakers. Recognized by the media as an influencer in leadership, she helps people and organizations lead and succeed against all odds. Her work is embraced by Fortune 500 companies, large organizations, government officials, and many celebrity CEOs. So who better to do the session than her? Welcome to the show, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you, Chelsea, and thank you, Chandra, for inviting me and for the initiative of Prayaana. It is such a wonderful platform for not just women, but I think for everyone who are interested in succeeding. And a very, very good evening to everyone who has joined in here today. I am so excited for our time together, not just today, but even in the future. And as I begin to talk to you about how to build a successful business and thrive, I want you all to really write this somewhere on your sheet or anywhere that you want, that today onward I will thrive. Today onward I will thrive. Now, friends, the reason I asked you to do this is because I believe, and you can see this belief throughout my work, whether it's online or the books or my speaking, anywhere. I believe that we all are here in our jobs, in our business, not just to survive. We are here to thrive and to succeed. And for you to thrive and succeed, there is an imperative quality that you've got to develop. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just some time. And as I talk to business people, as I talk to entrepreneurs and people who are in the workforce, whether they are doing a job or they are building their own business, I always ask them to think about their goal, because this is one of the things which is most often forgotten. We forget to think about our own goals. We forget to think about what we are looking for in our business, in our job, in our career. So as you think about your goal, I'm going to share with you an incident that took place with me. Now, this happened, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and I was traveling from New York to Dubai. I was having to give a workshop to business owners, and these were all the ones who, like we call them, the six-figure business owners. It was a huge conference, and I still clearly remember, as this cab driver was driving me to the hotel where the conference was to be held. On the way, and many of you must be knowing this, in Dubai, you have these beautiful street side shops and everything. And as I was passing through all these shops, and admiring them. Just then, I saw there was debris, a lot of debris in one corner. And I asked the taxi driver, I said, what happened here? He said, oh, just a few days back, there was a fire. And this debris that you see, there were some shops here. And in particular, there's this one shop of a cycle repairer. He said it got completely damaged. So as he was going, what took my notice was just in that debris where the shop was, the cycle repair shop. And I really wish I had taken a picture at that time. There's this huge, he had this stick, and on the stick, he had a cardboard where it was handwritten, my shop has been burnt down, but my determination has not. I will bounce back. Now, as I went there, it just went on as a loop in my head, and I reached my conference place. I did my workshop and everything. We had, very good results and all. And during the break time, I was looking at my messages, and I saw the message from one of the potential clients who was supposed to meet me that evening. The message read, Payal, our meeting is on. Would you be kind enough to meet me at this hospital? I am in room number this. I said, okay. So I told the driver, he took me there. It was this huge hospital. I went in there, met with him, saw his condition. Anyways, we went ahead, signed the contract, everything. But I was very curious. So I asked him, I said, what brought you here? He said, oh, just a few days back, my client, like his client, he said, Payal, a few days back, my client filed for bankruptcy. And he said, while he filed for bankruptcy, I lost a lot of my business. I lost a lot of investment. My team is pressurized. I am pressurized because a lot of money was invested in that client of mine. And he said, that stress, that pressure, it seems to have taken a toll on me. And I just suffered a minor heart attack. The doctor said everything is fine. They put the stent and everything, and I'll be out from here in a few days. That night, I just could not sleep. Not because of jet lag or something, but purely because of what I had witnessed, 2 incidences in one day. There was this cycle repair shop who has no team, no resources, no money, absolutely no knowledge, no expertise, must have hardly had any education. And he writes, my shop has been burnt down. I have not. My determination has not. I will be back here soon. And then I have this potential client of mine who has the team, the resources, the money, the investment. The hospital that he was in was so expensive. That means he has everything needed, the knowledge, the expertise, and yet his condition was in the hospital. So, this incident stuck to me so much. In fact, in my next book, you will also read a lot about this in my upcoming book. A lot of people, they have their goals, they have their dreams, just like you must have had. I want to start my business. I want to grow my business. I have some ideas. I want to move up in my corporate. You want to succeed in whatever you are doing. The problem is we have all the knowledge, we have all the resources. In fact, I would like you to, pay attention on something here. We are in an age of information. Lots of information available on success, on how you can grow your business and how you can succeed. And yet, you and me, each of us know how many people reach to the top. They build an empire, they sustain their business, and how many people they fail in the first 5 years. They are stuck in their career, in their jobs, and they are doing everything it takes. They are putting in the hard work. They are doing everything it takes, and yet they remain stuck. And this gap, my friends, if you were to visit places like I do, you would really see. Sadly, this gap between the successful few and the unsuccessful, struggling many is only increasing, and it does exist in reality. So, one of the major things that you need to succeed and thrive in any work that you are doing, whether you are a business owner, whether you are doing your job, if you truly have to succeed, if you want to go a long way, if you want to sustain and you want to stay where you are and not just keep hopping from one job to another, one business from another, you want your ideas to flourish, You've got to develop what I call a leadership mindset. You've got to work with a leadership mindset. Now let me talk to you a little bit about here, about this, what I just said, is because it's possible that you might be, telling yourself, hey, Payal, I'm not a leader. In fact, I just have a startup, I just joined my company. I don't have any teams, nothing. Why don't you just tell me how I can thrive and succeed? Well, I am all about leadership. Leadership is the DNA of success. It's the DNA of your business. It's the DNA of an organization. It's the DNA of success. You cannot succeed if you haven't built that most important and yet highly neglected quality today of success, the leadership mindset. Now, what do I mean when I say leadership mindset? I mean that leadership is everybody's business. Now, for 21 years, I have been, my entire life, my work has been so dedicated to building world-class leaders who succeed in every business that they do, who succeed in every job that they are working on. And we have seen the results. Now, I want you to think about this. On a scale of 1 to 100, if I was to ask you that, give a number to your leadership mindset, what number would you give? Because know this, my friends, whatever number you give, so say, for example, if I have given a number 50, which means I am here, average leader. If I have given that number, guess what? Whatever income I'm desiring, wherever I want my business to reach, whatever goal I have, everything is uphill. Your goal to achieve, your goal to succeed in your job, in your business is uphill here, my friends. And you are here, which means everything will come and stop here. Nothing will go beyond you. So you've got to keep working on your leadership mindset. You've got to build that, because think about it. Think about it. The best resources, the best of the things cannot help anyone to succeed. In fact, in reality today, in the crisis, in the world crisis we are in today, what do we read in the news? 75% of the businesses are failing. The economy is showing a sharp decline. Layoffs are happening everywhere. Companies are going on a downscale. When you hear such news, what effect, what impact does it have on you, my friends? What impact does it have on you? Because whatever impact it has on you, on your thinking, that means if you are a person who says, oh my God, 75% of the businesses is failing. I don't think I'm going to come out of this. I just started my home business. I won't succeed. I won't come out of it. I'm going to wait till the economy changes. Some good sign has to come. Or maybe you are telling yourself, there's a lot of layoffs going on. I joined the company at the wrong time. I hope I can survive in this market. That means you are living with a survival's mindset. You're living with a victim's mindset. And how far are you going to reach with that mindset, my friends? How far? Because if you're a victim, if you're operating your business, if you're operating every day thinking paycheck to paycheck, if you're going every single day thinking of how I got to survive in my business, where are you going to reach? A victim always has a hand like this. And for you to succeed, for you to reach uphill, like I said, everything is uphill there. For you to keep going uphill, you cannot go with a victim's mindset. You can't have your hand out like this for everything. You've got to build that leadership mindset. And with the number of coachings I have done, for business owners, for people in the job arena, for them to lead and succeed, whether they are startups, whether they are the ones who have built empires with whom I have worked, this one quality has helped people to come out of any crisis, to sustain the crisis, to come out of it, and to keep moving ahead when others have failed. Now, a lot of questions that come to me is, while I get a lot of ideas, are they not enough? I get so many ideas to do my business. If this business doesn't run, I'll do another one. My question to you, my friends, is what's the guarantee that you will succeed in the other business? Because if you could not succeed in the first one, if you could not succeed in that job, in that project that was given to you, in that business that you started, the idea that you developed, how do you know? How do you know that the next one will succeed? The only way to succeed in any business, in any economy and thrive is to build that leadership mindset. And I'm going to come to it as to how you can build that mindset. I will give you at least one such technique, while in my coaching, speaking, and working with these A players, industry leaders, and CEOs, I have been blessed to learn so much from them while coaching them. And that is one reason through all my books, my videos, my online resources, I disseminate all that information in such easy language so that everyone, from a person who is in a startup to a person who is right up there wanting to reach up more and more and thrive and be happy and succeed, I disseminate, I deconstruct all that messages and I put it in simple language because I believe and I know that achieving success in any field that you are is no rocket science. You just got to know the right techniques. So I really want you to remember this one thing that I'm going to emphasize on. The results that you are looking for in your job, in your business is equal to the leadership mindset that you have developed. The more the leadership mindset keeps moving up, the more higher you climb and you go uphill. The faster you are able to move, you're going to have speed in what you do. And I want you to remember something here, my friends. Businesses don't fail. It's you as a person who fails. There is never death of a business. It's the death of a person from inside where you give up, where you feel it's not worth it. The career never slows down. It's you who slows down from the inside because the mindset, the leadership mindset hasn't been formed. It hasn't been conditioned to reach there and to succeed. In fact, our entire work culture, it teaches us to put our hands out for everything and behave like a victim. Blame it on the economy, blame it on today's crisis, blame it on the boss, blame it on the family that they did not support me in my business, blame it on the culture, blame it on everyone. How about you bring a shift? You bring a shift in a way where you can build that mindset that helps you to succeed. And I cannot emphasize this enough. A leadership mindset means you are productive, you've made yourself productive, you are able to take ownership, and you are able to succeed no matter what. And like I said, my entire life, my entire work is so dedicated to help people build that mindset that when it is, when they have seen the results, when they have seen themselves, they come out very differently. So let me share with you at least one such way where you can reduce this gap between the successful few and the unsuccessful and the struggling many. And I have gone through all of this when I had set up my own work, when I had started my career in the job. I've experienced what it takes to reach up to where you want. So how do you do that? I wanted to focus on something, my friend, which 90% of the people, they completely ignore in their career, in their jobs, in their business. They do not build a leadership success blueprint. They absolutely, they have ideas and then they move ahead with the idea. And when things don't work out, they take a back step. They find themselves completely lost. A leadership success blueprint is like a GPS. It will take you from one place to another when you feed where you want to go. It will tell you exactly how to reach there. When obstacles comes and there's a detour and you have to shift that way, it will bring you back on track. It will make sure that you reach where you've got to go. And that's the adventure of being an entrepreneur. That's the adventure of being in a work life, what I called the corporate world and the business world. It's a place to succeed. Each of us has a very, very limited time in our career life. We are not here to stay forever. Whether it's me, you, we're all going to go and leave this platform for someone else to join in. But while you are here, my friends, you've got to make sure that you thrive. that you don't feel when it's time to retire, when it's time to leave, and you don't look back and you say, hey, I started with passion. I had these ideas. I just wanted to make a difference in the world. I wanted to do something for my country, for my people, for the entire world. And here I am feeling unfulfilled. I feel I did not achieve the heights which I could have achieved. So build your leadership business blueprint. Now, though, of course, usually in my books, I explain them and I put them very much elaborated. I'll give you a very quick system here. It's called RAM, the RAM model, RAM. What I wanted to do simply is define your goal. And if you have a paper, pencil, anything with you right now, write this down, and then in the Q&A time, I'll help you with getting more details on whatever I said. What is your goal? So I wanted to just write down on top goal. What is your goal? Now, friends, so many business people, so many corporate people, when they come to us, when they approach me for anything, and I ask them what their goal is, they write down a lot of things. And to their surprise, when I talk to them, they understand that this was never their goal. Their goal was something else. In fact, what they have written was because what they've been hearing from people around them. This is what you should do. This is what is good. This is what they write. And secondly, later on, they realize it was not a goal. It was a sub-goal. A main goal is articulated very well in one sentence, my friends. So in the Q&A time, if you have written some goals, I'll be happy to tell you whether it is a goal or it's a sub-goal. Second, I want you to define your outcome. How will you know you've achieved that goal? Will it be in some rupees or dollar value? Will it be in some, how will you quantify it? Will you say, when I achieve an income of X, maybe $10,000 or 1 lakh rupees, I would know? Or would you say, when I have 15 clients, I know I've achieved my goal? You have to quantify your goal. And the reason I'm asking you to do these 2 steps before I tell you the next one is because unless you have not achieved this goal, you cannot move to another idea that comes in your mind, that you cannot move to another goal that comes to your mind. And I say this, my friends, with a lot of not just experience, but also having witnessed this firsthand. When people don't write their goal and they don't write the outcome, they feel, I've achieved it, so I'll go to the next one. And that is also the reason where you feel people have failed to achieve what they want to achieve. How many times you've made a resolution, a goal, and then it's left midway? Because it's not articulated, written off well. Now you go to the next one, you make 3 columns. In the first column, I would encourage you to write reason. Why do you want to achieve your goals? What's the reason? And when you write the reason, don't hold yourself back on the first reason. When you write the reason, I want you to question yourself on that reason and again ask, why? Why do I want to do that? So say, for example, if I say I want to start a technology firm. Why do I want to start a technology firm? Okay, because I want to provide better data to people. Okay, why do I want to provide better data to people? How is it going to help them? The more you are able to do this, the more you are going to stick around in the game, and the more you are going to be able to move forward given any crisis. It will give you that passion and that push from within to actually move ahead. That's what everyone, each of us, whether it's you, it's me, we all need that. It's not like someone. I've seen people right up here at the top with whom I work every single time, the executives. They need it too. They are using this system today of mine, even today, even if they are there. So articulate and write down your reasons. Move on to actions. List every action that you can, my friends, that comes to your mind that will help you to achieve your goal. And don't stop yourself. I've seen people who would say, oh, I don't have the budget right now, Payal, so I don't think I should even write this action. That's not your job. Your job is not to think how that action will be achieved. Your job is to write down exactly what all actions are needed. So write them down, list them down. Don't worry of whether they can or cannot be achieved right now. And then go ahead and mark a star, an asterisk on one action that you commit to starting off from today itself. What's that one action? That come what may, you will do it today onward, and you will keep doing that action until you have fulfilled the reason of why you have started that action. Why did you write about that action? And lastly, I wanted to put in the column mastery. What mastery do you have? In what areas you want to improve, in what areas you want to give your best, in what areas do you want to discipline yourself, because all of this, my friends, is so needed to thrive and to move ahead. Once you know your reasons, once you know your goals, your outcomes, once you know your reason of doing it, whatever actions you've listed, start working on them, because ideas are no good unless we execute them. And what are the things you've got to develop? What mastery do you want in? What are some of the habits? Once you're able to get that framework, I can almost assure you, my friends, it will allow you every single morning when you wake up and you look at that list of yours, when you look at that goal, it will remind you to be in the game called career, the game called business, the game called job. It won't let you move. It won't let you move outside of it. It will give you ideas. Now, when I said ideas, I also want you to capture this. When you get an idea, like I said, don't move on to the next one idea or to another idea, but capture those ideas, not here, but somewhere on the paper or somewhere on your computer, wherever, on your cell phone. Capture those ideas, my friends. It is so useful, because when one idea is done and you look at those list of ideas and you feel, hey, this idea and my current one relate. I can really start working on both together because it relates to my goal. It's not a new idea. Or sometimes it's, so capture it. Capture whatever comes into your mind, because that's one of the qualities of a great leader. So always know, my friends, once you've worked out this framework, it will give you your leadership a blueprint. Nothing in your business can go above you. Nothing. Whatever you are seeking is right here. It's with you, but you've got to make sure that you develop that leadership mindset. So, putting everything together, I would really, really want to open it up for Q&As with Chelsea and with all of you, and see where we can, where I can put in some more resources for all of you.
Hello, ma'am. So now we're going to have a little bit of an interact session between you and the CEO of Prayaana Labs, Mrs. Chandravadana. So you guys can talk and interact and share your ideas. So I guess she'll also raise the Q&A we have. So yeah, you guys can start off. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chelsea, and thank you, Payal. I just loved your concept of RAM. RAM is something we have normally heard in computer terminologies. And then
Absolutely.
this
Yes.
RAM, I think, yeah. So this RAM is, I think, what is more relevant for personal growth as well as not just personal but organization growth
Yeah.
as well. So I was just connecting to what my organization in Prayaana, for example, our organization, and how I came up with this and how I'm trying to do, connect RAM to this. I just can I share that?
Absolutely. Please do.
So basically, we'll start with R, the reason. Reason why I started Prayaana. There's a lot of the whys. If you look at it, at the end of the day, I wanted to help more women to become financially empowered in their lives. For the reason that most of the women in our country, though they are qualified, they have the capability or potentials. Unfortunately, unless they are financially empowered, the whole women empowerment doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that is one area which I really wanted to work. And that why started off as an employability programs. I used to do training programs and stuff. But then then I came up with this concept of helping women entrepreneurs to promote their products, and also to enhance, and also to help more other women to become promoters of these products and earn some money. So those things ultimately is helping, or rather is envisaged to help more and more women to
Yeah,
become empowered, right? So that is the
absolutely.
reason what, or rather that is the reason why I am doing this business, to help as much, and to quantify it in your this thing. I have also kept a mission of helping 1,000 women entrepreneurs to help sell their products. So that is
Good.
within
Yeah.
2023. So
Wow.
in 3 years time. So that is the
Wow.
mission I'm working on. Okay.
Great.
So to
That's your
quantify
big
that,
goal.
yeah, that is the big goal. So keeping this in mind, so, let's go to the A part of it, that is the action part. I would say everything that we are doing every single day, our organization, we are working towards that goal. So whenever I see any new entrepreneur, any women, or somebody who can be associated into this collective mission, I try to help them on board, and then come together, come join Prayana, come join Prayana. This is what we are doing, so that the action act automatically happens. And the
Yes.
thing is, it's not just me, but the people who are associated, even the other Prayana members, they are also doing this because we all jointly understand the importance of being together, the collective nature. So that is the second part. And coming to the mastery part of it, I would say I have to learn a lot of things, and not just me. I would say everybody, like the people who are in our system, every woman. So that is one of the reason why we are organizing this YouTube live webinars, bringing people like you, experts like you, because mastery involves not just knowledge of your product, or
Yeah.
your whatever you're making. It is,
Yes.
I would say, it has a lot of things. It is your personal qualities, your habits, your business strategies, your vision, so many things. So
Absolutely.
it is like you have to be continuously learning things, and for
Yes.
which we have to have a venue, and that is where again the mastery part comes. And as I said, this YouTube. So we used to organize a lot of events, of face-to-face events, workshops, trainings, and all. But then right now, after the COVID season, I mean, after this lockdown, I was like, how do we do? How do we do? And that's how again the results came, ideas came. So one
Exactly.
day, one morning, one one day morning, I woke up and I asked my group of women in our WhatsApp group, so can we do some live online webinar? So it's like people are like, oh, should we? How do we do it? We don't. And then I started researching, and then the whole day was spent on how to do this. So the learning the technology behind this. It's
Yes.
of course it is easy, it is available, but then we have to learn it. We have to master all that. So this is the
Absolutely.
process. And
Yeah.
I, as you mentioned this concept of RAM, I thought I will share my live experience of how we are
Beautiful.
going through this. So that's a wonderful methodology, Payal. So can you also share a little bit about, you spoke about leadership. Uh, you know, if it's not just about individual, but also the organization as a whole. How an organization can, become a leader. Would you like to talk something about that?
So, in our concept that we help people with, Chandra, we always tell them that if you want to succeed in the market, you should know how to develop leaders faster in your organization.
Right,
That's the only way to succeed in today's market and in the future market, because the way the future market is going,
right.
uh, right now the economy, yes, we all know there's a sharp decline. How are you
Mm,
going to come out of that sharp decline? If you cannot build a leadership skill set, you have to have a mindset where everyone works with that leadership thing. So
right,
that's the reason when when I go to organizations, I help them with that one thing, that every person in your organization is able to think like a leader, period.
right,
When I work with business owners, whether they are startups or they have established business, and they would say, Payal, I want to make sure my business does well, I want
mm,
to sustain it. I help them first and foremost is, are you becoming a leader and moving ahead? So
right,
once they learn that,
mm,
the entire business is like this. It's so easy. The entire work is so easy.
right. But then there's one challenge which I see, or normally see among entrepreneurs, is that though leadership, everybody wants to develop leaders, Delegation, or rather giving powers to the leaders, is something which most organizations find it difficult.
Yeah,
How do we do that? I mean,
that's
uh,
you. I love that question. You find it difficult. Anyone finds it difficult to delegate is why? Is because of lack of trust.
yes, right.
And lack of trust. In fact, I had a small video that I released on my YouTube. It was giving I was talking about the LBT technique, lead
Okay.
by trust,
Yes. Okay.
and how in 90 seconds
Mm.
you can build that relationship of trust with your people.
Right.
So those are the things that you have to work on. Again, that can happen only when you have developed a mindset, a leadership mindset.
Right.
Otherwise, even if I give you the best of the skills to lead, you will
Mm.
still hold on. You will not delegate because that mindset is not of a leader. The mindset
Exactly.
is still of someone who is working in the
Right.
organization. And
And
this happens even with entrepreneurs.
yeah, yeah. And another aspect is, today morning, one of my friend actually called and asked me that, because this is, work from home, everybody is remotely working, and his boss, his immediate boss, is, he's not allowing him to work independently. Okay, it's like micromanagement, too much of supervision in every hourly calls and thus, and
Yeah.
I mean, he's too frustrated. So he was asking me how to manage. Can you give me some idea? Then I said, you just don't answer his call every hour. Just keep it like that. Finish your work, and end of the day, report properly. Don't argue with him. Okay. Because at this point, you don't want to lose your job because you argued with your boss. So the point, what you shared right now regarding trust, I think it's very important.
Yeah. You
Uh,
can ask her to share that video with him. He would listen to it.
yeah. So the point is, like, as but building trust is again, it's a very very crucial thing. I mean, uh, one another aspect is, compare looking at the employees mindset right now. Most of them are apprehensive about their work, their career, I mean their future. Many of them are tensed about losing their jobs and all. So in such case, building trust becomes quite a tough thing. um, Again, I would leave it to you to, if
Yeah.
you have some
No,
ideas to
you're
share.
you are absolutely right. And the reason the trust is weak is because we don't trust our own abilities to lead.
Yeah.
It's not about the other person.
Yeah.
It's not about the team. It's because we don't trust our own ability to lead and get the results that we are so worried, we are tensed up, we are stressed, and we lose trust that the person will get the work done.
Right.
So it's imperative that each of us first improves our own ability to trust our own capability of working,
Right.
and then make sure that we can pass that trust on. It won't happen just by saying that, hey, I trust you.
Mm.
Do I trust my own self? Do I trust my own ability and capabilities to do
Right.
what I'm doing?
Yeah. See, for in the case of entrepreneurs, I think to a great extent this works because entrepreneurs generally, people especially who own the business, they know that okay, this is the future of the business. This is what. So based on that, you can build trust in your team members. But let's look at the case of business managers, people who are in leadership positions in
Yeah.
big organizations. Yeah, I think last week one of my friend was talking about, he is a vice president of a company, and he was sharing his concern that he would have to fire many of his employees. Okay. So that in such case, he knows that he loves his team members, he likes everyone, but then he knows that the company or the management cannot afford to retain them. So it is a very difficult situation for such people. What do you want to say about them?
You have to build it.
Yeah.
It's not a day's work, but it's not impossible. You have to start building that mindset of trusting that what I'm doing is fine. And like I said, in one of the videos I shared the 90-second rule. So when you are talking with your team, when you're talking with your employer, anyone,
Yeah.
do you just greet each other and then dive into the agenda, or do you take some time to know about that
Ah,
person?
right.
What is Because once you build that relationship, that is open to share with you what they have done, where they have fallen short, and they are willing to open up. And that's how you get your work done. Because now you're getting the feedback from them, you're getting everything that is not working, and you're moving ahead with them. People say it's very lonely at the top. Right? People say when you climb upwards, it's very lonely at the top. It's actually lonely at the top if you keep climbing alone. If you take your people with you, it's good up. It's not lonely.
Exactly. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. That was a nice point actually. Many leaders, they try to climb the ladders alone, and then that's where the problem comes. So Chelsea, do you have any questions? I think there were some questions on the YouTube.
We do actually have a few questions. So one is by Annie Moses. So what she says is she's in a government sector. So the growth ladder is very slow. So can you pour some light to make it a better place?
The growth ladder is very slow in the government sector. So she wants me to put some light on how she can move ahead.
Okay, ma'am.
So the way you move ahead in any place which is slowed down. Am I audible?
Yeah, there was a little
bit of a disclarity. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, continue.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yeah, the sound is actually getting a little. Yeah.
So when you go. Now is it audible?
Yeah. Now it's better.
Okay. So if you are in an environment where growth is slow and you want to make sure that things speed up, it all depends on how you are putting your your request, your case, your strategies ahead of time. Because surrounded by people around where they lag the work, where they do it slow, where they do not push themselves, which means they are definitely not working with a leadership mindset. It's a very, very fertile for you to develop that mindset and see how things can progress. Because many a times people run away from environments when they are not, they don't feel suited there. And I always tell people, if you want to build that leadership mindset, it's a very good ground. How are you taking those things? How are you putting stuff forward? How are you moving ahead? How are you speaking to your management? How are you speaking to the team? Where can you help so that you become that leader which they are not today? Does that answer, Chelsea, to her?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So yeah, another question is how do you develop leadership? But I feel like you've already explained that several times. And so there's another question which says how to get a better idea about your job, like about the job you do. How do you get a better idea about that?
Like get more and more ideas about your current job?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what she meant. Yep.
Okay. So the more you see the company's results, the more you know the company's mission and vision, where they want to go, the more you align it with what you are doing and you come up with ideas around what the company is doing. You cannot have ideas only for your job because you cannot put yourself away from what the company is doing. So if you look at the big picture, which many of us don't do, if you look at the big picture, you align your ideas with that through reading, through knowing more about the company, reading about what's outside of your field, what are some of the things coming up, keeping yourself so much involved that you automatically the ideas start to generate when you do this. You don't have to sit in solitude and wonder now which idea I have to think. You start every day by building your own qualities around it, and that's how you start to think, hey, I read this somewhere, this could be good for my company because my company's goal is such, and that helps you to rise. And Chelsea, just before that, like you said, someone asked, how do I build that leadership? Yes, I did talk a little bit about it, but I usually put up a lot of resources on my social media. So if that's helpful to anyone, I love to connect with people. If you want to connect on LinkedIn or on YouTube or wherever you are, I usually put up resources on leadership and leadership mindset and success. If that's useful, I will be happy to connect.
Okay, ma'am. I think that's about it when it comes to the questions. The rest are all, comments thanking you because everybody's enjoyed it. And, the person who raised the question, Annie Moses, she says that's great. She says she thanks you. So that's it, ma'am. That's all the questions we've had. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much to all of you all for being here, and I hope to stay connected with all of you.
Just before we wind up, Payal, I just thought since we are talking about leadership as well as we are talking about mastery, there's one more incident, or rather one more person who approached me today. So in her case, she has been working in an organization for she was working, and then now she is jobless in a particular profile. Okay, let's say for the time being, I'm not disclosing much, but for the time being, let's say she has been working HR. Okay, so she has a long years of experience in that particular field. Now she's jobless, but she's not getting a job. Okay, after long trying. So the point here is, I suggested to her that why don't you, she started blaming. You spoke about the victim mindset earlier.
Yeah.
So the victim mindset started working in her case. She started blaming herself as well as the entire, system and surroundings, and even her friends. She started blaming. But the situation, I tried to convince her that it is probably your skill set is not, in demand right now. So this is also one point or one aspect towards thriving, the thriving concept what you are trying to convey today. It is important that we have to upskill ourselves if our skill is not needed anymore by the society, or if probably our skills need to be, available in a different format, right?
Absolutely, Chandra. What you're saying is so right. If you think if you think like a victim with a victim mindset, you will always feel I'm no good. But if you really develop that leadership mindset, you will say, let me build my skill. What's needed? Just like you said, what's needed? How do I move ahead? What's gone is gone. And that's, you put that so well. That's the leadership mindset, away from victim mindset.
Exactly. I just wanted to reiterate that point. Probably if people, more people like her are watching the program, I'm sure many people are going to face the situation that, they have been in a particular skill set for some time. And then suddenly, due to, all the situations around, probably we may have to, stop that skill set and stop that profession itself sometimes, it's how we are ready to evolve and transform ourselves into something new, and take that risk to plunge into something new. That's very important.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right.
Do you want me to share? I'm not sure if this will be useful to anyone, but just with what you spoke.
Yeah.
These are the places I put up resources, Chandra.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
so
sure. Please show it.
If anyone feels it is going to be useful, I will be happy to connect. But do mention that you attended the session today, so we know it's come from this platform. Because we will not be accepting otherwise. But these are the places where we are, Chandra. So if anyone you feel is got any useful of it, we'll be happy to connect.
Excellent. Yeah.
But one thing
we would also share the contact detail, email ID in the description of the video. So if somebody wants to, contact,
Sure. And keep up this initiative, Chandra. This is beautiful. It's awesome. And enough how needed this is in today's world.
Yeah. Thank you. People like you make it more amazing and beautiful, and what all.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be associated with your platform. Really nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Payal. Over to you, Chelsea.
Okay, ma'am. So you guys know what the next part is. Next part is about the feedback. Now, I've already read up most of the feedback. So it's all, if there's a lot of love. A lot of people have thanked you really well for, Wait, let me just get it. So it's all positive feedback today. But then if you guys still feel like there's something we lacking, there's something we still need to work on, please feel free to leave it in the comment box below and we'll definitely look it up. So this is just a poster of our, tomorrow's session. It's going to be about business strategies post-COVID. So I think it's like a very relevant, like she's already mentioned several times that, a lot of businesses are failing. And then a situation like this is like a very important session. So it's going to be taken by Mr. Baburaj Nair, who's the chief mentor and founder at P2P Consulting and former CHRO of The Hindu. So it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be from 5 to 6 p.m. So please do keep that in mind and do not miss the session, because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're like thinking about your business opportunity, this is the session for you. And this is a timetable for this week. So we are at Wednesday, and tomorrow's Thursday. I already explained to you the session is going to be about business strategies post-COVID, which is going to be taken by Mr. Baburaj Nair. On Friday, we're going to have a session on Pain Go Away, and it's going to be taken by Dr. Prayaana R. It'll also be from 5 to 6 p.m. On Saturday, on the other hand, we have two sessions like this last Saturday. So one session is going to be from 10 to 11:30 a.m. It's going to be on 6 critical entrepreneurial qualities, a live workshop with 6 women entrepreneurs. This is going to be taken by our CEO, Mrs. Chandravadana R. And the second session on Saturday is going to be from 4 to 5 p.m. It's a session on the paradigm shift from fixed to growth mindset, an exercise to your brain. So this is going to be by Raki Vijay Nair, and she's the co-founder of Vajra Learning Solutions. So I hope to see you all, tomorrow and, in the coming days. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, stay home.
Thank you. Bye.